What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. It's your girl Shelly Nicole with Drinks After Work. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody had a great day. Happy Monday. Happy Veterans Day also to all the vets out there. Thank you for your service. Thank you for what you've done for us and this country. So happy Veterans Day. Today was a good day. Today was a very calm day. Yesterday mentally it was just like you ever been like exhausted and just like overthinking and just constantly like having your mind just play things in your head and scenarios that like haven't even existed or doesn't exist? That's how I was yesterday, and I was just pushing and trying to fight through it. But yesterday was more of like I had to sleep. I was just very tired. I was very like mentally exhausted. I like put my phone, I think, on D&D. I want to say I did that. No, I didn't. I had my phone on silent. I didn't put it on D&D. And like I woke up to like mad missed calls, text messages, and I'm just like, I'm sorry guys. I needed a moment. But Sunday, I felt better this morning when I woke up and went to work and just had a more of a positive attitude. And sometimes you need that. Also, I just, definitely prayed on it. Saturday, me and my friend Dana, shout out to Dana, went to Nobu in the city. It was my first time going to Nobu. I always said I wanted to go. I want to try new restaurants. I've said that like towards the end of the summer, I was saying like, I want to try new places that I've never been to. That's on my list of places to go. And that was one of the places. So she made the reservation, I think like last month. It's real adulting here. Like as adult friendships get like as we get older, our adult friendships really go based off our calendar. Like our schedules will be all over the place if we just have to like come to the agreement that okay, this is the day next month that we're going to hang out, and hopefully, God forbid nothing happens, that we can actually make this happen. So me and a few of my friends have done that, and we've planned like strategically what days we're going to do things, because let's be honest, that's just how we are moving. That's just how the world is moving right now. So nonetheless, that happened. Nobu was really nice. We went to the one downtown. I want to say it's 19th Street. I want to say that's the one we went to on Broadway or near Broadway. On Broadway. Anyway, that's the one we went to. It was really nice. The service was nice. Baby, that price for the food, it was rather expensive, but the food was good. But when I tell you the tacos were like this small, like, and when I say this small, for those of you who are like not watching the video right now, but I'm talking about like, remember like Easy Bake Oven? Remember like the little size burgers and tacos? I'm talking to millennials here. Sorry, all the other generations that don't know what I'm talking about. But like the little size burgers that they had with the Easy Bake Oven, like when I tell you miniature, good, but miniature. I was surprised when I seen that. I said, and this is per piece? Nobu, you gotta do better with them prices. Ain't no way. Y'all gonna charge $22. It better be 3 or 4 of them things for $22. Not $22 per taco, depending on which taco you get. Like it'll either be 8, but then it will go to like 36 depending on the taco you get. Per taco. Again, I say per taco. Someone, I think, Dana had said that California or Atlanta, that Nobu is not as expensive as the one in New York. So I don't know, New York, you gotta fix some prices, baby, because that was not it. But the lemon drop was great, and the food was good, but it was just a tad pricey. But nonetheless, I enjoyed myself. It was great seeing my friend. We haven't seen each other in a while, and we just caught up, spoke, and just had conversation, and just regular girl time. So the conversation for today is, and I, have mentioned this again every time I come up with a topic, I always ask you guys to voice your opinion, choose on the poll. Sometimes I put a poll up for you guys to choose what topic you want to talk about or what topic is of your interest. Sorry. And this one was about who should lead first, men or women. And oddly enough, a lot of responses that I got, it was mainly mainly women, but I had a few men, and everybody said men. One of my friends said a man, but with woman's intentions. And I kind of get exactly what that means. Like, you should lead, but knowing that your intentions are to take her or take this relationship to a further level. Taking this to maybe marriage, or taking this to a full commitment, because marriage isn't for everybody and not everybody believes in marriage. To each his own. But nonetheless, I do feel like, for me personally, I feel like men should lead first. But there are some men, and no one really pulled it on Instagram, which was hilarious. I guess they didn't want to know it was me or know it was them. But I did see some comments in my DMs, and they said, please don't say nothing, but I feel like women need to lead, because in today's society, it seems as if women don't even know what they want. A lot of women talk about how men don't know what they want. Men are all over the place. How men are just like not doing what they're supposed to be doing, I guess, in a sense. But it comes off like women really don't know what we want either. And they would rather a woman be honest and be forefront as to what exactly they want and show the man that this is what they want, instead of having a man play the guessing game. Now, personally, I feel like if you're doing the guessing game at this big old age, cut it out. Knock it off. This is not charades. There's no reason why we're having a guessing game here to figure out how you're feeling or what's going on in your mind. No, I don't believe that at all. I do feel, though, that you are supposed to communicate and you are supposed to express what your requirements are, what are your boundaries, and what it is you want and what you don't want. And I feel like that's on both sides. That's not necessarily women having to tell men. I feel like men should tell women as well. Like, okay, if a woman comes up to you, gentlemen, saying that she wants to be married, she wants to have kids, she sees her life going X, Y, and Z. You then respond with saying, yeah, I see the same thing. This is what I have planned, which is another thing. A man with a plan is a man sent from God, I feel like, personally. Because if I'm asking you where are we going and you going to sit here and tell me, we just riding this out, or we just doing us, I can't stand that stupid ass response. You know, we just letting things flow into what? The wall? Because what are you talking about? Like, where are we going from here? Are we going to take this serious, or are we just, and it's cool if we just messing around, but say that. If you're not ready to take anything serious, please say that. Please be upfront. Please let me know this is what is going to happen. This keeps people from crashing the F out. It really does. It really prevents people from acting a fool and not letting the trauma, it's like a trigger. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, when the guys had said in my DMs, it was two guys, it wasn't many of them, but two guys had said that they feel like a woman should lead first. That way they know what they're doing and how they need to move when it comes to them. I couldn't agree with it. I don't agree with it. I really don't. Because as a man, again, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be able to tell me, listen, babe, I see us going X, Y, and Z. I see our life heading this way. I see you as my wife. I see you as the mother of my children. This is how we're going to go. And then one of the other guys, which leads me into the next part, the guy said, a lot of you women don't even like to submit. So what am I, and I'm paraphrasing right now. He said it in a different way. He basically wrote me a paragraph, if I'm being honest. But he was saying how women don't like to submit. And then he wanted to add a little sprinkle, a little dust, a little razzle dazzle to it and say, Black women don't like to submit. Now, baby, I wanted to read him so badly, but then I also said to him, so I first asked him, will you be on the show so that way you can voice your opinion? And if you are too, I don't want to curse. Again, I'm watching my language. Never mind, forget it. If you're too pussy to show your face, but address women, especially black women like myself, when it comes to us not being submissive, then we can do over the phone. But I rather you do it in person. He said he'll do it in person. So that was actually another topic that I had when it comes to black women being submissive in relationships and why some black men feel like black women don't. But again, that's a different topic for a different day. Nonetheless, that is what he suggested, and that's what he said basically, that women tend to not want to be submissive. So they feel like his thought process is, if you're going to show me how you want to be treated, then I'll know what I'm supposed to do. If you lead me by showing me, like, I guess his whole thought is, I come to you as a man and I say, hey, or I come to him as a man and say, hey, I like flowers, I like dates, I like to go to the spa. I'm just saying random things, right? If I say that to him, his now response is, okay, cool. So what type of restaurants do you want to go to? So in his mind, I'm going to plan the first date. I'm going to pick him up. I'm going to do everything that, basically the roles are reversed. I'm going to do everything that I want him to do, but I'm just showing him what I want from him first. That way he knows how to move with me, how I'm supposed to be catered to, what I like, what my requirements are. He even said something along the lines of buying myself flowers. I said, wait a minute, hold on. Come again? You want me to buy flowers to bring with me on the date? At this point, I felt like he had bumped his head because I'm confused. And I'm telling you, real story. Like, I'm not even making this up. Real story. Real conversation. And he was like, well, maybe not buy you flowers, but in the conversation to know that that's what you would like as well when I decide to take you on a date. But you're showing me first what it is you like. I said, okay, so if I like flowers, in this situation, I like flowers, so I'm going to bring flowers with me in the car to show that I have flowers on the first date, because I feel like that's what I know I want from you on the first. It's confusing, but okay, whatever. I'm going with it. Then I said the spa. So he was like, okay, so after the dinner, you would want to go to the spa, so you take us to the spa. I said, okay, so after the first date is done, everything is over, I drive you home, gag, and then I take myself home. Then at what point do you then say you're ready for the second date? Because if the roles are reversed, technically I'm asking him, are you open for a second date? And if you're saying yes or no, then, if we're flipping the roles. But he said, I would definitely say yes to a second date, because now I know how you would go about, like how you want to be treated and how you would like me to treat you. So now I have it in my mind, okay, this is the type of restaurant she likes. This is the type of flowers she likes. This is the type of food she likes. Now he has an idea of the things that would impress him, or impress me, sorry. And you see what I'm saying? Like, very confusing. Impress me on the first date. But then I'm like, well, the first date is done. So what the fuck? Like, so what are we doing? Date 1.5? Like, I don't understand. So I don't get it. Then I asked him, what about just having a conversation with her? Getting to know her. Knowing what it is she likes. Knowing what she doesn't like. That's the whole point of talking and dating, is to then see if it vibes. His response was, as a man, we spend a lot of money when it comes to dating. We spend money on gifts, on the restaurant, gas money, toll money, XYZ, depending on where you live and depending on where you're going. for us to only get sometimes shot down after the first date because it wasn't the expectation of what the woman needed. So I then said to him, again, this is what I mean when I say communicate, talk, get to know this girl. On top of that, where did you meet her? Sometimes I feel like that has something to do with how a woman kind of moves. Like, and it's not to say that when you meet a woman in the library or you meet a woman, well, I don't even think anybody does that now, but just saying, if you meet a woman in the library, you meet a woman at work, you meet a woman at Home Goods or whatever, wherever you meet her, not to say that she's like, she's not bougie or she, doesn't care for a nice fine dining restaurant. But 9 out of 10 times, a lot of us have Instagram, we have TikTok, we have social media. You kind of have an idea. It's not always true, but you kind of have an idea of where and how this person moves and what they like. You get what I'm saying? Like, you could tell from their vibe how they are. So if you know that you don't have the funds to take her on an extravagant date, you have the conversation with her. She could probably be one of those women that look like she's very bougie, that she wants 5-star restaurants all the time. And when you have the conversation with her, she may not really care. She may be like, all right, I'm down for, Dave & Buster's. I'm down for the arcade or, whatever. The, what's it called? The go-kart. Anything for a first date. But, I mean, it really just depends to me on the conversation that you have. But sometimes it also depends on where you find these women at. Because if you go down to like Wall Street or some shit like that, right? Or you go to any of these bougie ass stores or these bougie ass, I guess, I don't even know, like meetups, if you want to say that. You know the type of, the caliber of the woman that you're dating. And that's not to say that women everywhere else, that they don't have that idea or they don't have that want as well. I personally feel like if it's the first day, you're going to show up and show out. That's just me. And then you really get to know who you're dating the second or third date. Let me put some of y'all on game. And this is just me. Some of you men on game. And this is just from me and a lot of females that I've talked to. I'm not saying all, but a lot of females that I've talked to. The first date, like I said, show up and show out. Lead. Show up and show out. Even if we say, oh, no, we chill, we cool, whatever you want to do. Show up, show out. Take us to a nice restaurant. It does not have to be a restaurant where the water itself is $50. I'm not saying that. It doesn't have to be where it's nothing but, everything. Like, like when you go on Yelp and it's like the $5 signs and that's like a very expensive restaurant. I don't even know if it goes up to $5, but whatever. It doesn't have to be the super extravagant restaurant, right? But something nice. Something where, yes, we're going to have to dress up. Something with maybe a nice scenery, a nice ambiance, whatever. Show up and show out. Get her flowers. Have flowers waiting in the car. If you get her an Uber because you don't drive or because you choose not to drive that day, have the Uber have flowers in the car for her. Have good conversation. Put the fucking phone down. Put it down. There's no reason why you're on a first date getting to know this person and you're on your phone like, yeah. Oh, okay, that sounds interesting. Great. Love that. I've seen that just going out with my girls or just even by myself when I would just go and, have dinner or lunch or something at a restaurant and I see them on a date and the guy is just texting away. And sometimes a girl too, like put the phone down. Like y'all supposed to have a conversation, you're supposed to talk. How you supposed to get to know each other if y'all in your phone and going like this the whole time? Have an actual conversation, get to know this person, right? Boom. Nice going on. Everything's going great. No, there's no issues. Laughing, kiki, and whatever. The night's done. Boom, y'all move on. Second date. Spin it. Hey, so second date, let's go for a walk in the park. It's going to be a nice day on Saturday. How about we go to, and if you're in the city, let's go to Central Park. walk around, maybe go on a bike, maybe do the little horse thing that takes you around. I don't know what it's called, but the horse and carriage that takes you around Central Park. Something calmer, something not so extra. Or go and see the tree now that, you know, the tree is here, the Rockefeller Center tree. Go and see the tree, go see some lights, go to the Bryant Park Marketplace, doing something that's not really so expensive. See what her vibe is then. And if her vibe is like, I don't want to do that, why can't we just go to another restaurant like what we went to the first time? Wolfgang Steakhouse, something like that. Then you know the type of female that you're with. Then you know that you're with a female that is very much so, this is all she wants. This is all she cares about. She wants to spend. Sooner or later, after the third, fourth date, she's going to expect a Chanel bag waiting at the table for her. You're going to know the type of female after you've continued to date them. And to go back to his question or to his statement that a lot of men, or all men, it's very expensive to date. Well, then don't date until you have the money to date. If you do not have the money to date, don't date. And again, I'm not saying that everything has to be expensive. No. But for the first date, at least, I feel like you should show up and show out. And then every other date after that, do the same thing. Don't just think after the first date of you doing all that, okay, boom, I showed her, whoo, I ain't got to do it again. No, you're going to have to do it again, because that is what she also appreciated. And that should also be something that you appreciate, going into a nice, fine restaurant that you can dress up, you can be nice with your lady, and y'all have good conversation, and it's silent, and it's maybe some, you know, nice jazz music or something, piano, something playing. But if you can't or don't have the funds for it because of whatever your circumstance is, then don't date right now. And then don't date multiple women at that. You can't sit here and date Sasha on Saturday, then want to come date Monique on Monday, and then want to date Diana on Wednesday, and then date Sherelle on Friday, when you don't have the money or the time to do it. Stick to one, maybe two, if that, and figure out where and how you want, or if you see yourself with any of these women that you're actually giving your time to and your money to. Because yes, it is expensive to lead, but that's the part of being a man. Yes, it is expensive to do what a lot of people don't want to do, honestly. Like, I'm not going to hold you. It can be rather expensive.